This may come as a shock to some of you, but I'm shy. At the same time, I network a lot. And everything I learned about networking, I learned by playing Dungeons & Dragons. Let me take you on a journey. The scary part is right outside the event, that first dungeon you're going into. Dungeons and networking events are scary places, filled with pit traps, narrow ledges, and all kinds of scary monsters. Luckily, those dungeons and networking events are usually suited exactly to your level. Now, you're unlikely at a level 1 dungeon or networking event to run into a captain of industry. You're more likely to run into a kobold or a technical recruiter. But after those first few events, you might start taking on bigger monsters, orcs, lawyers, accountants, and the like. And after sparring with them a bit, you'll find out that it's not that much of a competition, since they're out to meet you as well. And oddly enough, they might want to talk with you and, God forbid, stay in touch. So save that contact information, put it in Outlook or your Salesforce Codex, because you're not out there trying to get money or clients, you're out to connect. And after a few more of these events, you're going to start realizing that you can bring up your game a bit and get some gear. Now, remember, be class appropriate. Clerics don't get any edged weapons. Magic users don't wear any plate mail. But find what your style is. I personally like to kick it up a notch with some magical items. This is my +3 badge of greeting. That may not be your brand, but I do know some of you, for a fact, have downloaded this app of greeting on your phones. Don't forget the other powerful magics out there, potions and pipeweed, if that's your style. Just remember, reducing inhibitions is great, but dancing on the kitchen table may not be that wise, even if it is brave. Oh, and don't forget your friends, because a party can overcome much bigger obstacles. Just make sure it's a party with a purpose. A single character may not be able to take on a cave troll, for example, but as a group, together you can find their pain points and help them. And I'm serious about this. Helping is one of the most powerful forms of networking magic out there. People remember generosity if it truly is generous, if it's not done for any expectation other than to give back. And in that process of giving back, you build up that powerful, wild magic. Let me tell you a story. When I was a low-level networker, I was out at an event, and I looked out into, a room about this crowded, and it was filled with dark suits. Now, at the time, I thought dark suits meant scary monsters. We know that those are just orcs and kobolds nowadays. But I fixated on the one bit of color in the room. It was a short guy, and he was wearing a tie-dye shirt. So I thought, this will be safe. He was a dragon. Decision maker, a CEO. I panicked. I had no idea what to do. I mean, I'm just a young attorney. I was flustered. I was looking for an escape route, anything. And then I found out, somewhat shockingly, that CEOs and decision makers, they're people too. And so we started tasting some potions and talking about business challenges and eating skewered meat snacks. I mean, it was actually quite a pleasant evening. And then I had an interesting deja vu moment, back to my teen years. I recognize this feeling. I'd leveled up. Those kobolds could no longer threaten me, and not only me, but my whole party. We'd leveled up. Well, at least the serious players, that is. The ones that I wanted to keep. So now I ask you out there in the audience, are you ready to level up? I'll be down at the bar wearing my +3 badge of greeting. Let's share a potion and have a great ignite.